Welcome everyone to Iclad Theatre. We are on our fourth day today, ILSA's International Virtual Conference Learning Development, known as Iclad 2020. So good to to have all of you here. Some of you probably lost the date already. We are on the 12th of November 2020, fourth day. Third day have passed by, with the Iclad 2020. I hope you're all having fun. My name is Zakir. We're going to speak later on with Dr. Hanafiah Yusof, CEO of Robopreneurs Numberhad. Our topic, you're probably aware of, Untapped Advantage in your digital workforce. But before that, before we ask him questions, we're going to hear a bit of his presentation slides and a bit of his Robopreneur punya video. In between, while you're listening to those items of his video and his slides, you will be aware there will be a pigeonhole that you can ask questions, and also, you can put in your comments. There's a barcode that you can scan on the bottom, and also there's a pigeonhole link button that you can click on the top, left or right. I'm sure the secretary mentioned to me just now. Anyway, so let's hear to Dr. Hanafiah and his company first, shall we?
You will choose.
Human. Okay, hi everyone, good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. My name is Dr. Hanafiah Yusof. I'm the CEO of Robopreneurs Numberhad. So our company is specialized in service robotics, and we have three pillars of business, which is service robotics, artificial intelligence, and also additive manufacturing. Well, intelligence comes with different perspective, and learning and intelligence is something that we can debate a lot. Yeah. But from the perspective of robotics, robot created by humans, and the creator of these intelligent robots somehow need to be more intelligent than the robot itself. Doesn't matter if the robot just can do very specific tasks or it able to do autonomous thing. Still, the core developments of software, AI, programming, it will need a very good team, people, talents that to work on that particular area. And my research previously was related to autism children, and how we use robots to help the therapy of autism. So as we know, autism community is keep growing every day, and there's a lack of technology that can support the therapy operations. And we also have seen a lot of problem in the ratio between autism children and the therapists. So by introducing robot and also robotic system, it will increase the opportunity for therapy and also improve the therapy output by 20%. That was our research, and we are able to commercialize this robotics telerehab, and nowadays able to be implemented in any autism center. So in terms of learning, I think robotics is best platform, one of the best platform to enhance the learning process and also the learning outcome, because robotics, especially, they comes in various form and also need a lot of multidisciplinary involvement in the learning itself. So we will need mechanical engineering, we will need electronics, computer science, and even we need a linguistic people to be involved in the development of the robots. So it will open a lot of opportunity for learning, something that we are not focus in one vertical only. So every verticals come together to develop one particular solution. Opinions about and also debate arguments about how actually robots can be part of humans' life. And there are also people saying that probably robot will take over their jobs. Yeah. So one things that we need to understand about robot is that robot is actually created to give additional value to the human's life. Yeah. So if we probably in the manufacturing side, if we see that probably we need 100 people to create to produce mass productions of products, and then all these people actually doing the same things every day along the process, and we can see that there's a lot of human factors involved, and human tend to be tired, fatigued, and then there's a lot of cases where accident happen when the workers become tired and also losing their focus. So having a robot will help the sustainability of the productions on the factory and help to avoid any cases of accidents, and then at the same time, all these people that initially involved in the process can be upgrade their skill, for example, to manage the robots. So it will give additional value to the human itself. And in terms of social implementation of robots, if we have a robot that capable to do our household works, I think most of the housewives will be happy. And nowadays the economic growth also requiring both husband and wife to work, and we probably need a robot that able to teach our children about to do their homework, do some tuition, and such as become medium communications between the teachers and also the children at home. And during this COVID-19 pandemic, there's a lot of indicators that showing that implementation of digitalization and also robotics is actually one of the solutions, to make sure that we can continue our daily life. At the same time, we try to be familiar with the technology, and also in more specific is on the robotic itself. And for critical usage, such as in oil and gas industry, in search and rescue, all this process will require a risk of human to be involved in that particular work or task. So instead of sending one person, for example, for search and rescue at the nuclear sites, that will expose them to a nuclear radiation and so on, we can send a robot to do the surveillance and observations. So this is the value that we need to see on how actually robot will give opportunity for us to be more safe, to be safer, to be able to upgrade our skills, and to solve our daily problems. But the revolution of machines, if we look back in the history, since the Industrial Revolutions 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and now 4.0, we have seen the growth of machine intelligence is never stopped, and it will continue to the future. And we will see that this intelligent machine, it will not only come in the physical, like a rigid body, but it's also come in the soft body. And we now are familiar that like Google, they have their own robot, crawling robot, to get the information. So it not really in the form of physical robots. It can come as soft robots. It can come as a robot that in the form of visuals. But the most important things that will shift the paradigm of this robotic is actually the artificial intelligence, the AI. So the cognitive parts of machines is actually the core area. When we able to break through this barrier, definitely robots will become something that we must have in our life. Yeah, not only giving values to the our life, but also will be important factor on the growth of certain countries' economics. Because we are able to simplify process, we are able to solve a problem more faster, and probably we can have in future robot that are able to do exploration under the sea and find a new source of oil. Yeah, whereas now we have to spend millions of dollars to do that. So the most important part of this paradigm shift will be the artificial intelligence, and also we have seen many countries putting their efforts on developing the ecosystem of AI and also robotics. So AI and robotics is actually closely related. So we not will not be successful if we only success in one part of it. So it need to come together, because without the AI, the machine cannot perform intelligently. Without the robots, the intelligence will not able to deliver the task. So this is going to be a future trend in many areas like communications, healthcare, military. Yeah, so it will be a big change. If we're talking about industrial revolutions, so it's going to be the factor for social revolution as well, not only in the industrial revolutions. So I believe having focus on robotics and also AI is the right way on developing new technology for us in Malaysia and also at the country as well. Yeah. Actually, robotic revolution has started since Industrial Revolution 2.0. When we see that mass production and also electronics industry, automotive, this industry booming, and the requirement of mass production is quite critical. It's where the industrial robot plays an important role to become the power of productions, because through human production is not enough. So the role of robotics have been very significant throughout these revolutions, and nowadays after the industrial robot become mature, there's many industries that are using robots. Now the robots tries to go out from industrial segment. They go out from factory to see how actually the robot can be part of human life and solve actual problem in human environment. So actually there's a lot of industry right now that not focusing on the manufacturing, but they are still required automation, also robot, to be part of that solutions. Okay. Well, in terms of utilization, in terms of numbers, I think Korea and Japan is the most country that having a numbers of robots right now on the industry. And in terms of deployment and also a number of units, US and European countries are still at the fronts. And we have seen in the past 2 or 3 years, China is actually putting a very huge effort to develop robotics and also dominating service robotic industry. Malaysia, we are still at the beginning stage, but we are actually having a good visions, and the process of developing talents, which is the core area, the fundamental area of this industry, still going on. And what the things that we need to do is actually to focus the right approach in order to accelerate the process. More time with our families, and so this is the way that we want AI to be functioning robots. To make us to make our life, the value of life increase, and we have more time for ourselves, for our family, and so on. The way that people probably misjudge, misunderstand about how AI and robot actually function in human life is that they're afraid that the robot will take their job. So before we think on that directions, probably we can be more positive in the way that there's a lot of actually job or things that we do at the routine basis, and if we have a chance to avoid this routine, we can do something that probably give more value to us. So that's how actually the robot can and AI can be part of our life. Yeah.
Hi, I hope that was informative for you all. And I'm sure you have some questions you're about to ask. But before that, there will be more questions after Dr. Anafia have presented his slides. But for now, let me just give you a brief background about who is this Dr. Anafia. He is a founder and board of director of, and of course CEO of his group company, Robopreneurs Berhad. He has more than 18 years experience in robotics research and as well as R&D of robotic research, as well as in business. Academician, researcher, innovator, game changer, and he's known as a symbolic as a role model for the robotics technology in business. Now, his success has led him to a very prominent figure in the campaign to achieve adoption of robotics technology in business. Now, Dr. Nafia holds PhD in information science from Nagoya University, Japan, specializing in humanoid robots. Now, he did his research actually in tele-rehabilitation system employing humanoid robots for the autistic patients. And then throughout the years in robotics, he made himself known, and he held several prominent positions in this community. He was chairman of IEEE Robotics and Automation Society for Malaysian chapter in the year 2013 to 2015. Editors in several high-impact journals in robotics and scientists, and he also is a visiting professor at Toyama, Japan University, and also visiting research at Nagoya University and Hosei University in Japan. So he has, a lot of accolades, international awards, ASME Best Magnetronics Paper Award, Nagoya University Award, and the rest. So we have Dr. Anafia here with us. Doctor,
Ya,
how are you? Apa khabar?
halo. Alhamdulillah sihat, khabar semua?
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us. I'm going to, before we chit-chat further, we're going to pass the floor to you so that you're going to have a bit of presentation about your company. Boleh, Doctor?
Boleh, insyaAllah.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Alright, I'll pass it to you then. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank you very much for the Iclad for giving me the opportunity to be part of this program. And it is a pleasure to be here. I think robotic is not alien right now. Everyone have heard about robots. And I have given a title of Robotic Solution Untapped Advantage in Your Digital Workforce. It's quite interesting topic. Okay. So probably I touched a bit on our initiative or industrial revolution, 4.0. It's a big word, and now Malaysia has putting this initiative to propel the digitalization of economy and also digitalization of the government operations. For Robopreneur, we are actually focusing on the three pillar out of 11 pillar in the national policy of industry forward. we are focusing on autonomous robots, artificial intelligence, and also additive manufacturing. Yeah. So I think it is also important for us to probably understand about the three keywords here: digitalization, and also digital transformation, because this is actually the foundation of IR 4.0, and it's become the philosophy on how we actually want to pursue the transformation of industry, not only in the manufacturing side, but also uh, in economics, in other part of segment, especially nowadays. IR 4.0 is not only transforming the way how we make product, but also the behavior of humans. Yeah? So there are three part here: digitalization, and also digital transformations. So we'll start with the most basic one, which is digitization. So digitization is talking about how we transform analog to digital. It's as simple as that. Yeah? For example, probably in the scope of TNB, um, uh, before we have, like a paper bill of our electricity, and from there we have to go pay our electric bill in the TNB office, or in post office. That was a long time ago. And now when we do the digitizations, we enable the online payment. We enable people to to pay the electricity bill through direct from their bank account. So that is the example of how digitizations works in this kind of scenario. Yeah? And then it goes to the digitizations. Um, Sorry, digitalization. Digitalization is more on the process. So when we start embracing digital in our process, so digital technology is basically will be changing our organization, the way we do business, to make it more profitable, to reduce costs, to reduce time, and also to create more value to the service that we offer. Yeah. For example, if we have a digital meter to calculate our electricity consumptions, probably the digitalization will enable that particular device to transfer the amount of the electricity usage directly to the TNB, and that makes the process of calculating the consumption more practical. And this is also create more revenue and value, where the organization can reduce operational costs, and also to improve the delivery of their service to the customer. Okay. And for digital transformations, is the highest part of this journey. Is talking about the whole organization changing, transforming into digital. It's more into how the connection between the organization and the customer. It's no longer a product centric, it's more on customer centric. So it will make the organization more competent, more value, and able to understand what are the feedback from the customer, and able to process this information in an analytic way, so that the organization able to make improvement in their service offering, and also able to make analytics and also predictions. Like now, when we are in the pandemic, so many new normal have been introduced, and organization need to be very agile and dynamic to counter this kind of situation. So digital transformation is actually giving advantage for the company or organizations to be more agile and also to be more dynamic. Yeah? So in summary, when we talking about digitalization, also digital transformations, Basically, at the digitization stage, we digitize the informations. And when we digitize this information, at the process level, we digitalize the informations so that the role that make up the operation of the business can be more effective. And at the digital transformations is more on the organization level, where we enable to come up with a better strategy for the business. Okay, so from these three keywords, robotic is one of the important technology. It's like a tool that enable the digital transformation to be done more effectively, able to solve problem in industry and society, and add value to the economic growth and also sustainability of humans' life. So this is how I try to connect between digital workforce and also robotics. Okay, and then before I go further in robotics, I probably introduce uh, what are the rule of thumb in defining robots. So basically, they have, as identified by IFR, the International Federation of Robotics, we have a three category of robots. One is the one that works in the industry. We call it industrial robots. And then we have a robot that works outside the industrial area, outside the manufacturing area. That group of robot, we call it service robots. And nowadays, when IR 4.0, we have a robot that works in the manufacturing that want to have a good communication between human. So in between industrial and service robot, there's one area we call it collaborative robots. Yeah? So Robono is actually focusing on this service robotics segment. So for this service robotics, it's actually very actively growing right now in terms of CAGR. Also, the growth rate is higher than industrial robots. And for the segment of service robotics, we can divide into two. We have service robotics for professional use, and we have service robotic for domestic and personal use. Okay. For service robotic for professional use, is a robot that works in a very specific environment. For example, in warehouse, in medical theater, robot that helping people, helping human to lift heavy weights, and also a robot that used in military. Yeah? This is the area that so-called service robotic for professional use. And the other segment is service robotic for domestic and personal use. It's more robot that works closely with humans. A robot that serve our foods, doing cleaning at home, teaching our kids about online learning. Nowadays, there's a lot of online learning going on. Yeah, so this is where the robot work closely with humans. And both area is actually requires a robot to function at the level of intelligence, and the cognitive function of the robot is pretty high in the way that nowadays artificial intelligence, machine learning have been introduced in order to make this particular hardware to be more smarter, to be able to communicate with humans, understand human emotion, and able to sense danger. Yeah. So many technological developments, the intelligent part of the robots is actually developed in the service robotics segment, and it's been transformed right now to the industrial segment, whereby we have smart manufacturing, where in a factory right now. But the most important thing is that the intelligent part of the robots, the technology development mostly done in service robotic area. Yeah. So for service robotic for professional use, there are several categories that we can identify. For example, robot that works in the agriculture, works in construction area, yeah. Robot that works as a customer service, defense, logistics. There's so many, yeah. So these are the area of robotics that so-called professional service robots, and we can see that this kind of technology is helping a business or the operation of certain organizations to improve the efficiency of their work, to digitalize their process, and also to transform the organization towards to be more digital and also able to deliver the service faster and also make impact, direct impact to the company. Okay. So after this, I will show several videos. This is some of the real use case of robotics, particularly in service robotics, where we can see some of the example that this robot actually very useful in terms of improving works, improving a process that become the essence of digital transformations. Okay, the first project that we had with solar panel in Gambang, yeah. This is solar panel cleaning robots. So we see the video here. So actually, for solar panel cleaning is very cost effective, and we're able to um, reduce the involvement of human in the cleaning, which is in terms of asset management and also time consumed. So this is one of the example on solar panel cleaning robots. I was texted. Can you have a sound or not?
We can hear your voice, but just now the video there was no sound. But tak apa, it's okay, Doctor. Proceed, please. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, okay. Oh, video no
Yeah.
sound ya. Saya ada sound ni.
Okay.
Maybe tak apalah kot ya. Kita tengok gambar je lah kot.
Yes.
Tengok video saja. tak dengar voice video okay, yeah, sama Okay, this one is a bit different than the other two video. It's more on how we introduce robot for more close human robot interactions. So this is example of robot that we have here called Furhat. It used for customer service solutions, and we're supposed to do one POC in KLIA. Unfortunately, it's cancelled. Macam mana? Mute video sound sekejap Sekejap, I check my Skype. Dengar tak? No sound. Sound. Okay. This one is actually, I want to show how the robot can speak in a multi-language.
Ask the participant.
Okay, this is how the robot can support 40 languages. It just sound language. Now, okay, it's good with sound, but I don't know why we don't have sound here. Okay, the next one is Pepper. This is one of the office solution that we have. in future, maybe we need receptionists. Uh, the and staff. Yeah. Okay. So when your customer inside the building, you have already giving the good impact and change their perception. Yeah. How about Malaysia? Actually, we have developed our own humanoid robots. We made it in 2018 for the first phase of the project, and the robot is called Adam, Advanced Development Autonomous Machine. It has 22 degrees of freedoms. It has very good speech recognition right now. We do machine learning on the speech recognitions and enable the robot to have a natural conversation with humans. It has facial recognitions, enabled to detect gender, age, and also emotion of humans. Yeah. It's, the this question. Okay, I'm sorry about the sounds problem, but if you like to, to know further about what we are doing, we welcome you all to communicate with us. We are in Cyberjaya, and I think we are open for any, kind of opportunity and discussions as well. Okay, Zaki, I
Thank
return
you.
back this.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Nefia. Great video and also slide presentation. So sorry to the participants, there was no sound, and things like this does happen. But we have a lot of questions, Dr. Nefia. People put in a
Yes,
pigeonhole.
oh, yeah, good.
If you don't mind, let me ask my question first.
Yes.
Moving forward, of course, you've been in this industry for some time already, and there's no denying the fact that robots, will be, to say the cliche among us, probably is is an understatement. But how is it will interact is another question. But my question more like are we ready to live among robots? That's one. Number two, and what stage of readiness that we should be in to have that full interaction with robots. So that is more of society question, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Zaki. For the first question, I think there's no matter what how are we ready or not,
Yeah.
because when it comes, it will coming. It will not waiting for us to be ready. Because some technology, they came very fast and very drastic, and it really needs a lot of adoption, especially when talking about organization or company level. When you need to be more agile and dynamic, meaning that we need to react very fast when technology come. And like we see around, we have seen company that have a very long history, Kodak and also Nokia. They actually refuse to transform, refuse to and find out that they are no longer significant to the you know to the world right now. And robot also the same. If this technology have the breakthrough on the AI and also on the hardware, it definitely will dominate more and more in our surrounding. Yeah? Especially when we're talking about nowadays, we are too depending on the foreign labor in agriculture, in service industry, and how we're going to cater these issues in terms of economic and also in terms of social problems. Yeah? So by having a robot, that might be one of the solutions, especially on the palm oil industry right now. We're having very critical manpower problem. And if we actually develop the technology before, at this time around, we can test it and probably we can, eventually
Right.
apply it
Right.
right now. And our level of readiness is actually still at the entry level. I can say Malaysia is picking up, awareness is there, but then we are not preparing well enough previously. So we are still very much depending on technology from outside. But it is not bad. It's not too bad, when we still have the opportunity to integrate technology and make it works in the local environment. That's also very important. Yeah? It's not too bad to have a foreign technology as long as we're able to make it use in a local environment. Yeah? And then we need to start doing our foundation work on growing our talent, also learning program, to produce capable group of engineers and also programmers that become the workforce that make this kind of technology to be enabled locally. Yeah.
Other question actually regarding about the readiness of our industry, particularly in the talent capacity building towards IR 4.0, and my question is more towards TVET. Are we there in providing TVET programs for our workforce? What is your opinion on that?
Yeah. Well, probably this is a bit on my personal opinion, but TVET is actually very, very. It's a good program, and it's very important for our, talent growth initiative. But then we see that we have a very very good blueprint on paper, but then in terms of implementation, we are still there's still a lot of problem in terms of implementations. And this implementation is actually when we're talking about the whole nations working on TVETs. We are talking about the teaching capability of lecturers, technicians that doing the hands-on program, those people is not being trained enough to adopt with the new technology. So their mindset is still at the old school, and their learning, their knowledge of this on this particular skill is still at the, I can see, is still very low.
Very low. Huh?
So even though we have a very good program, very good blueprint, but in terms of implementation, we are still, there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this program it need to be continued.
Right.
Yeah.
I have we have lots of questions on the pigeonhole. One of the question
Yes.
that asks about natural language processing. Have you done research on it for the upgrading robot and then into interaction to human and human machine interaction? So it's more of whether your company have doing any of this sort of work, Dr. Nafia.
Okay. Okay, this is about NLP. Actually, NLP depends on what kind of application that we want to use it. For in our case, because our project is more towards completing robots. So our NLP is actually using a proprietary NLP source. Yeah? You can have NLP source available right now in many platforms. But in terms of doing intensive training on that particular NLP, that's what we're doing actually. So have a machine learning team that to for Adam project, we want to enrich the and also the capability of natural conversation between robot and humans. So in terms of programming level for the training, that's what we doing in the company. So we are not inventing a new NLP method. We are using the existing one, but we enriching those NLP with our neural network algorithm and also to make it more feasible in order to integrate with other systems. The difference between being academic research and also industrial research is that when we do research and development in industry, we always want to see the outcome. So time is very crucial, and because time is money, so we don't doing deeper research unless that research will come up with some tangible product, tangible outcome. So but I have a few friends that works in the university. They're doing very deep NLP research, and one of our ex programmer also now doing Malay for NLP. Yeah. So I think the way we grow our talent in the company is that we open for them to explore what they think that is within their interest and also passions.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. I have one good questions about from Encik Izzuddin. We noticed that you have been in robotic research development since Industry 2.0. What is the significant changes in robotic technology that you like most? Any significant things that throughout the industry stages, Dr. Anafia?
Well, I don't think I was in Industry 2.0 during I was born at the time. Yeah, but anyway, I think I know the point of the question is that I take one example when I did my master back in 1995. Actually, me and my team, Japanese team, we developed one humanoid robot. We call it Bonten Maru. At that time, at the same time, Honda is developing the Asimo. So in the world at that time, we only have Asimo, our robots, and also one in. So, but since it is a lab project, it doesn't come up as a commercial product, but it does. It did actually walking, body movement, and at that time it's very hard to to get very fast computer for processing. Even though some of the electrical board, motherboard, we do it by ourselves. Yeah. Now we can just uh, buy online or something. So I think when times when the technology also become more efficient and there's a lot of hardware improvement and many company actually able to come up with their own product. It make the development faster, and also we have the luxury of choice in selecting our hardware and also our software. So comparing 10 or 20 years ago when we want to develop robots, it's like you have one whole night doing fabrication at the lab, at the workshops, and doing assembly at the next day. But now we can just sit in front of your computer and ordering parts, and you can just do the development as long as we have the right team also right knowledge. I think the difference between before and now in terms of developing robots.
I think a bad connection. I'm not sure whether it's our side or your side. Can you hear us?
Okay.
Boleh dengar tak?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you
Okay,
clearly.
right. I have another question. This is a good question about the COVID-19 pandemic. Most people
Yes.
working at home, do you think telepresence robot could become the new way how we interact with people? Telepresence robot. Now,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting. What is telepresence robot? Telepresence faham.
Okay.
Telepresence robot tu benda tu.
Okay, basically telepresence robot ni when we the robot is in one place and we are at another
I
place.
see.
It's connected by internet.
Hmm.
To when we control a robot, the robot will be controlled
Oh, remotely
via
lah.
internet. I mean, inside.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So for example, if you are being a CEO, you'd want to go to the office. You have avatar in your office, and you can just having a meeting with your staff at the office. So that's how the spirit of a teleoperator robot. Yeah, I think that's a very good question in a way that is very futuristic, and it can solve a lot of problem. Nowadays, companies like TNB, Petronas, they spend millions every year on traveling, and also, that's only on monetary, not consider the time and also the efficiency of work. By having a tele robot or telepresence robot, actually we can shortcut those process, enable for the company to to reduce a lot of operational costs. The technology is there. Now, actually, teleoperated robot, we did it. I did it back in 1995. We have a robot in Japan, and our professor is operating robot from Australia. At that time, the delay is about probably 1 to 3 minutes because of the internet at that time is not so efficient. When our professor in Australia click operation button, we had to wait for 3 minutes for the robot to move their arm. Yeah, but now we have 5G coming up. This very important segment in terms of connectivity and communications. And I believe because the telepresent or teleoperated robot is already developed, and the source code and also the hardware and software is ready. Using 4G, we still have about 2-3 second delay. My friend Kamaru from Aerodyne, last time they operate their drone from Cyberjaya, works in UK. So the delay is about few seconds. So it's good already. Just imagine when you're able to drive autonomous car without any window. It just depending on the connectivity. That's how 5G can help
Right,
to accelerate technology. And same goes to the teleoperation. And maybe you can teleoperate your wife, ask your wife to do your
Sensitive
cooking at home,
question.
something like that. So this is how the robot that can help the household.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean not the real wife lah, the robot that avatar of your wife at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very sensitive issue. You say operate your wife. Okay, now the
In the positive way.
talking about pandemic. anything interesting since the pandemic came out with this COVID-19? Anything interesting that came up in your radar in the business sense that your client come, Dr. Anafia, Robopreneur, help us with this pandemic issue? Any interesting use case?
The interesting use case right now, one of them is from academic lah. When they want to do convocations, they are not able to to have physical students to come and also receive their degree or certificates. So they want a visual kind of convocations. So we are working on that right now.
Great. Yeah.
There's also combining another segment of technology called visual reality and also augmented reality. Same concept as a teleoperated. You operate the physical or the system from somewhere else. And the other segment of robotics that, when at the beginning of pandemic, we are talking about sanitizing, we're talking about delivering food at hospitals. And we did that actually. Our friend from DF Automations, Dr. Yong, actually managed to deploy their robot at MIPS and also at HCTM. That's one of the good use case.
Yeah.
And for contactless technology, actually we have developed one device that enable body measurement and also facial recognition to be done without human.
Yeah.
That's actually the one of the product that we are selling a lot right now.
I think this next question must become from academic, but I know is given anyway. When a project, when the project should be collaborated with multi-dimensional experts, what is the most challenging things and how to overcome it? Banyak stakeholder and banyak SMEs. How do you overcome those things?
Well, I'm not sure what kind of stakeholder you're talking about at this level, but I think people's management and also project management is two related things in the way that when we manage a big project, when there are a lot of stakeholders to be there must be, one so-called commander that, need to be well enough to lead the project. We cannot have two commanders in one project. That's one thing. And we need to have a very reliable and reliable team, meaning that team that person that can deliver. We need to put aside any personal benefit or so that we must be clear on the objective. And I know there's a lot of parameter need to be count when we're talking about managing a project with the various stakeholders. But then that's how some people see how they can become a leader or not. To manage various size of project.
The other thing, Dr. Anafia, is because I mentor and coach a lot of startups, and what we discover, some of the SMEs out there, they don't have in-house experts, be it in robotics, in automation, or in AI. So hence that is where you come in and assist the small medium industries or enterprises. Of course, given the like of the Petronas, TNB, and the multinational, they have the money, they can have in-house and maybe hire you on specific subject matter expert. But the small medium industries, I'm not saying mom and pop, even the double-digit millions punya companies, they don't have in-house experts and they will hire you. But the challenge is the gestation period of them want to accommodate the IR 4.0. It takes a long time. What is the best to you in order to penetrate those type of markets? And I'm sure there's a lot of other, robotics company, trying to find the right business model in assisting the small, medium industries to go towards this IR 4.0, particularly in robotics. What is your take on that?
Okay, talking about startup, you are very familiar with the startup ecosystem. Startup is actually very ambitious. They actually want to change the world. I've been there. Actually, we started at very low profile, and we are just based on our dream. We believe in our dream, and we want to change the world with our dream. Sounds possible.
Yeah.
Uh, but when times goes, when we get into business, actually the real fact is that we have to manage our dream. We have to manage our ambitions. Yeah. Sometimes being too ambitious is not good. Sometimes we have to see the reality of how the business works. Um, Chasing our passion and to make sure that the company is sustainable, is two important things. We must have a mechanism on how the company able to generate income. At the same time, we need to have a good team that enable us to develop our technology. Yeah. So for our company, we actually we don't receive any funding so far. Few grants, yes, but we don't actually consider grant as a real, source of income. But we actually develop our R&D capability using the revenue that we generate from the company. So we try to be independent. We try to be agile, and we try to create a culture in the company that even though we are small, but we can do more. We no need too big team, but at the end of the day, we have to pay more salary than what we can bring it to the company. Yeah. So I think we have to manage on how to become ambitious and how to make sure that the company can survive. And talking about embracing IR 4.0, every company have their own vision and their own expertise. And I would encourage myself and also the ecosystem of Malaysian startup and small companies that we have to work as a team. We don't compete each other, because when we happen to be got a big project, we are lack of manpower. We need to get our friends to come and work with us. So it doesn't matter if you only expert in one area, but actually you have a lot of allies that can be combined and can do bigger things. And we have to be smart enough in order to to create this relationship grow in terms of getting the project together, respecting each other in terms of the business ethics, and not to to be to act as a competitor to others, because we don't know how and when we're gonna need them. I think that's how we manage in Robopreneur, because we're not thinking of too much growing the manpower, but we are actually growing our network and also our collaborator. And we have a good relationship with our clients, our vendors as well. And we actually, make sure that everyone enjoying their profit.
Thank you, Doctor, for that line of answers. I read somewhere that as automation and robotics enter the economy and into the and it, replace some jobs, it is also going to increase more jobs for those for it could even be jobs that has not yet been defined yet, belum define lagi. So do you see beginning that kind of trend, or is that kind of article was rubbish, or is no such thing, or is it is true the article is saying that there will be more jobs when even though robotics come into the future? What is your take on that?
Yeah, I think if we do not upskill our capability and skill, definitely robot will replace us. Because robot is actually developed, designed to do something that we feels that it's boring to do, dangerous to do. it is a machine that been developed to replace our function actually. Yeah, but we have to be very selective in the way that if we do not have the effort to upgrade our skill, definitely robot will take over our job.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of example right now. When people losing jobs because of the automations. When some organization is actually embracing automation and also robotics in their organizations, there will be some of the area of works that need to be reduced. And we realize that this area of works is a job that require very repetitive process, which sometimes it will burden the company on having too many manpower, on having on the process that doing very repetitive. And by employing robot, of course, the initial investment is big, but for the long run, it able to be justified to reduce the cost of the company.
Yeah.
So by having this kind of justification, of course, the best option will be to reduce the human manpower.
Yeah.
So, so the question is, where these people going to go? So this is how when we doing automation, also robotics implementation in the industry, we need to also look at the program that the company can introduce to the workers. So maybe instead of doing assembling 8 hours a day, maybe we can train them to to see what are their potential on another area. For example, on designing, on doing crafting, or even supervising robots. Yeah. So I think a company that uh, taking consider on social impact and also technology, they will able to to grow more consistently and also more sustainable because they upgrade their manpower skill. At the same time, they are introducing automation to their process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Again, it can be a very philosophical question, but everybody has to play a role. Dari segi kerajaan in terms of reskilling program, as well as civil society, that we do need to upgrade our skill, and knowing that yes, automation will replace our job, but it is our job also to upgrade our skill. But the challenge is that in developing countries, the third world countries, and less educated segment of the society, where it's harder for them to understand that concept quickly. So itu because I'm trying to address one question. People will say that, will there be civil unrest as well as crimes, what is automation? So it is a tough question to answer. But I have another question that is interesting actually. Again, in terms of the benefit and cost, in terms of, what is your opinion? What is the cost like for dollars and cents, ringgit, of robot versus human at the front desk, as shown in your video? I know the answer, but maybe you can answer that. This is the question.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
All right. So this is very straightforward question, but then a very tricky question, lah. Yeah. Okay. I just want to put the perception of these questions as you as a business owner. Okay. You have a good business, big operations. You have a client like Petronas. You have client like big clients. That you deal every day. And you want to put your company in the position that you are actually leading the technology. Yeah, and at the same time, we want to highlight that we are actually a very humanized company, in the way that when people come to our office, we have human and also technology works together. Okay, and in terms of putting robot at the reception area, yeah, if you calculate the receptionist salary and also comparing with the cost of applying robot. I think you cannot justify that through dollar and cents, but you have to see the value behind that. When when our clients coming into the company, and you see that there's a robot that able to to address them, able to welcome them as humans, same as humans, yeah? With the same capability as human, you know, do you think that how the perception and also how easy you can close the deal after that? You know, yeah, I'm talking straightforward as a business owner, lah. Yeah, because when people come to the company, meaning that they have interest in our company, and what you are showing at the first impression is very important. Yeah, now you're talking about a bigger company, lah. And then digitalization is something that sometimes is unseen from outside. You cannot somehow doing a press conference every day saying that, oh, we are doing digital transformation, we are transforming our procurement, we are transforming here and there. We cannot do that every day, but we can show that in a physical appearance. Yeah, we can show that in the way that when we embrace a robot in our operations, showing that, oh, our company is actually reaching at some level that not being reached by others. That's very important in business in the way that when we want to to highlight our technology, sometimes indirectly we can convince our client by showing that we are actually very serious in embracing technology, in digitalizing our company, and that will create more value and trust from the client. Yeah. So in terms of dollar and cents, I think if you calculate directly, you cannot justify the rate between receptionist salary and robot. But then you will see the bigger impact from there.
Yeah, yeah. At the end, whether it drives value to the company and as well as the customer, that's important. Okay, we have last question. And this question keep on the votes keep on increasing, so I cannot ignore it. And I think those outside of the domain of robotics and AI probably have a tougher question to answer, but it all also depends on probably this got to do with ASI, asymmetric system. The what robot will robot eventually take over human like Terminator? What do you think? The last question, Dr. Nafia.
I don't think so, lah.
You don't think so? No,
As long
no.
as me and you all, be nice people, don't do something that disrupt the world, I don't think that's going to be there, lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So no need to worry about that. That's overthinking. I know the, the person that I asking maybe like a movie, it's a lot of,
imagination.
perception. Yeah. So let's think positively. There's still a lot of problem need to be solved out there,
Yeah,
in terms of solving our environment. Now we have our river being polluted, and how our technology and robot can, helping our authorities. We have our pandemic right now. How are we going to address the food delivery in terms of replacing Panda and Grab? Because when we do like a drone delivery, it's more efficient. So all those actually the current problem that we need to think, and somehow like now government have a grant NTIS, the sandbox grant, that's very suitable for startup that having a potential technology to try in the closed environment. So we have to to somehow take the challenge lah, to rather
yeah.
than thinking about Terminator or Transformer.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Nafia, for that last, comment. Yeah, we're really grateful to Dr. Anafia Yusof, the founder, board director, and group CEO of Robopreneurs Neighborhood. His office, he mentioned to me before the start just now, his office in Cyberjaya, and I'm sure you can go to his website and to look out for him, to collaborate more with him. So just a quick announcement. 2:30 to 3 p.m. We have at the Guru Classroom, a mini classroom, priming for learning with rhythm and joy, drum cycle. So do go there and check it out. And later at 4 at Chandrakia Cafe, the coffee and talk. with Managing Director of TNB Renewable Sinar. I know this guy. He knows what he's going to, he's expert in the talks that he's going to conduct. So thanks again to Dr. Anafia Yusof. Thank you everybody for, yes, thank you Doctor, and we chit chat again. And to everyone, really appreciate your presence and good line of questions. So you do have a good day. Thank you.